Excellence through innovation and teamwork. That is the goal driving TSI Incorporated. TSI is a world leader in the development of high-tech instruments, and they have been now for more than 30 years. One of the most innovative products ever to emerge from TSI is the Portacount Plus Respirator Fit Tester. Fit testing is the practice of ensuring that respirators fit properly and that your employees know how to wear them. Testing with the Portacount used to be limited to respirators that could be equipped with HEPA Class 100 or Class 99 particulate filters. But now, with the introduction of the N95 Companion accessory, the Portacount can be used to fit test Class 95 respirators, including the popular N95 disposable masks used for protection against tuberculosis and other hazards. This video will give you a better understanding of the technology behind the Portacount and the N95 Companion. It'll explain why training and proper respirator sizing are so critical, and it'll show you how to do fit testing on Class 95 disposable respirators. Before we get too far along, let's get familiar with some of the different types of tight-fitting respirator masks available today. Elastomeric masks are made of a durable, soft plastic material. They're often designed to utilize a variety of filter canisters and/or air supply schemes to accommodate a wide variety of industrial hazards. Filter canisters are changed as needed, but the facepiece is reused. Elastomeric facepieces are common in both half-face and full-face versions and are often available in different sizes. Filtering facepiece respirators, more commonly known as disposable respirators, are made almost entirely of filter material. They are designed to conform to the wearer's facial features and often have a pliable nosepiece that must be properly shaped each time the mask is put on. Disposable respirators are relatively inexpensive, but they don't last. When the filtering capability or facepiece integrity degrades, the respirator must be discarded. OSHA and NIOSH include filtering facepiece respirators in the tight-fitting half-face category. These masks are also often available in different sizes. The N95 Companion is an accessory for the Portacount Respirator Fit Tester. Its sole purpose is to allow the Portacount to fit test N95 and other Class 95 disposable respirators. The N95 Companion is not recommended for fit testing respirators that can be equipped with Class 100 or Class 99 filters. Use the Portacount alone for those masks. See TSI's Portacount training video for details. Before showing you exactly what the N95 Companion does, you need to understand how the Portacount itself works. And remember that it's the Portacount that is actually making the fit factor measurement. The N95 Companion is simply an accessory for the Portacount and cannot function alone. The Portacount is a portable battery or AC operated instrument which measures how well a respirator fits onto a person's face by counting the concentration of microscopic particles in the air and then counting the percentage of those particles that leak into the mask. This is known as quantitative fit testing because the fit of the respirator is actually measured. Don't confuse this with qualitative fit testing for determining leakage, which relies on a person's ability to sense a chemical stimulant, like banana oil, saccharin, bitrix, or irritant smoke. The air we breathe is loaded with microscopic particles, typically 3,000 to 10,000 particles in a cubic centimeter. We're talking extremely small, averaging 1,000 times smaller than the diameter of a human hair. The Portacount can actually see these particles using a 100-year-old technology called condensation particle counting, or CPC. CPC works by drawing the microscopic particles through a heated alcohol vapor and then through a cooling zone where liquid alcohol condenses onto the particle and grows it into a much larger droplet. Each droplet is then directed through a nozzle and past the focal point of a laser beam. Each droplet that passes through the laser beam produces a flash of light, which is sensed by a photodetector. The Portacount simply counts the flashes of light. If these particles were not grown into larger droplets, they would not scatter enough light to be detected. The Portacount measures the respirator seal and reports the result as a fit factor. A fit factor is defined as the ratio of the particle concentration in the ambient air compared to the particle concentration that leaks into the mask. Higher fit factors indicate a better fit or less leakage. A fit factor of 100 means the air inside the respirator is 100 times cleaner than the air outside. The Portacount can measure fit factors well above 10,000. When the N95 Companion is used, the maximum fit factor is limited to 200. Existing qualitative fit tests are inherently limited to a fit factor of 100 and cannot be used when a fit factor above 100 is required. Half-face respirators require a fit factor of at least 100, and full-face models require at least 500. The Portacount itself is designed to fit test respirators with Class 100 or Class 99 particulate filters. Fit testing respirators that use Class 95 filters, such as the N95 disposable masks, will require the use of the N95 Companion accessory along with the Portacount. Non-particulate cartridges, such as those used for gases and organic vapors, do not trap enough of the microscopic particles to allow accurate tests. Regardless of the type of filter you use in your workplace, you must use the Class 100 or Class 99 filters when fit testing with the Portacount alone, and Class 95 filters when the N95 Companion is used. When the respirator being tested is equipped with a Class 100 or Class 99 particulate filter, the only way a significant number of ambient air particles can get into the mask is through a leak. This is the fundamental principle of aerosol-based fit factor measurements. If the optional N95 Companion is used, this assumption can also be made for Class 95 respirators. That's why TSI developed the N95 Companion. When the N95 Companion is used with the Portacount, it electrostatically alters the size range of the ambient particles used for the fit test measurement. The only particles used are those that are the right size to be efficiently trapped by Class 95 filters. In other words, the N95 Companion makes a Class 95 filter look like a Class 100 filter to the Portacount, and the assumption that all particles inside the mask must have come through a face seal leak is valid again. Now, if your employees are going to be wearing respirators, they need to be trained first. An effective respiratory protection program should include classroom-style instruction for those employees. You want to address things like when and how to wear the mask and how to care for the mask when it's not being used. You also want to educate your employees on the actual fit test. Now let's set up the equipment for fit testing. Open the N95 Companion carrying case. The case contains the N95 Companion, the Model 8026 particle generator, and a zippered bag of miscellaneous small accessories. Take the particle generator and salt solution reservoir out of the N95 Companion case. To prepare the salt solution, fill the reservoir to the indicated line with clean tap water. Drop in 1 salt tablet and wait for it to dissolve. You can break the tablet up or use warm water to speed this up. Never use more than 1 salt tablet. Screw the salt solution reservoir into the particle generator and attach the AC line cord. The particle generator is designed to augment the concentration of ambient particles used for fit testing. Even if your location exceeds the Portacount's minimum ambient concentration requirement of 1,000 particles per cc, you may not have the minimum 70 particles per cc in the size range needed by the N95 Companion. If you find that you have a naturally occurring particle count well in excess of 70 particles per cc, you will not need to use the particle generator. When fit testing, keep the particle generator out of the way. The best location is on the floor, where it can't accidentally slip off of a table. Start the generator 10 to 15 minutes before fit testing starts and leave it running until fit testing is done for the day. Since the particle generator has limited capacity, its use is limited to average size rooms, such as a typical conference room or enclosed office. It may not be possible to exceed the minimum 70 particles per cc requirement in large rooms or rooms with aggressive ventilation systems. If necessary, the output of the particle generator can be adjusted up or down using the screw control on top. Now we'll set up the Portacount for fit testing. Open the case and remove the instrument. Take the Portacount Plus and place it on top of the N95 Companion. Notice that there are 2 small slots located down low on either side of the Portacount. If necessary, remove the black plastic plugs first. The spring clips on top of the N95 Companion will snap into the slots and hold the 2 units firmly together. Next, remove the 5-foot twin tube from the Portacount and store it in the Portacount carrying case. It is not used with the N95 Companion. The first thing you'll do is add alcohol. 1 charge of alcohol runs the Portacount for about 8 hours. Locate the alcohol fill capsule and take it out of the case. Take the alcohol cartridge out of the fill capsule and set it aside on a clean surface. Open a bottle of reagent-grade isopropyl alcohol. Fill the alcohol capsule up to the line. Remember to use only reagent-grade isopropyl alcohol. Other types of alcohol have a high percentage of water and other impurities that could cause problems with the instrument. Recap all alcohol containers promptly to prevent moisture absorption. The storage cap fits both the Portacount unit and the alcohol fill capsule. Now insert the alcohol cartridge into the fill capsule and lock it down. Wait about 2 minutes while alcohol soaks into the wick inside the cartridge. Remove the storage cap from the Portacount and set it aside. Now remove the alcohol cartridge from the fill capsule and insert it into the Portacount. Lock it down by pressing in while turning clockwise. Connect the 10-inch interconnect cable between the N95 Companion and the Portacount. Each unit has a special connector located on the back panel that the modular telephone-like plug fits into. It does not matter which end is which. If you plan to use Fit Plus for Windows software to automate the fit test procedure, keep records, and generate reports, connect the computer cable provided with the Portacount between the Portacount's data port and the computer's serial port. The proper cable has the word computer molded into the computer end. An adapter is provided if your computer has a 25-pin serial port instead of the more common 9-pin serial port. Remember that serial port connectors are always male with pins showing on the back of the computer. Attach a short pre-cut piece of clear tubing between the barbed fitting on the right front of the N95 Companion to the bright aluminum fitting just above it on the Portacount. The blue fitting on the Portacount is not used with the N95 Companion. Now take the 5-foot tube cable assembly and attach the end with the water trap to the left front of the N95 Companion, making sure that the water trap is right side up with the clear window on top. The water trap prevents exhaled moisture from draining into the N95 Companion by collecting water onto its internal sponge. Attach the evenly cut ends of the twin sample tube to the sampling pendant. The barbed fittings are color-coded to match the blue and clear tubing. The clear side of the opposite end of the twin sample tube will attach to the respirator, and the shorter blue side will be used to sample ambient air. The purpose of the sampling pendant is to house the valve that switches between the ambient and the masked sample tubes. It also supports the weight of the sample tubing so that it doesn't pull down on the respirator and cause face seal leaks. If necessary, attach the neck strap to the sampling pendant. There are 3 daily checks you should perform each day the system is used or anytime you suspect a problem. The successful completion of these tests lets you know the Portacount and N95 Companion are in good working condition. Remember that these tests should always be done in the order shown. If you're using Fit Plus for Windows software, the daily checks are automated. Also, if the N95 Companion is to be used, the daily checks should be done with the N95 Companion attached. The first test is called the ambient particle check. It tells you the Portacount is counting particles successfully and there are enough particles in the area to do fit testing. To perform the daily checks without software, start the Portacount, wait for the 60-second warm-up to end, and put the Portacount into count mode by pressing the count mode key. Make sure there's nothing attached to the ends of the sampling hoses. The ambient particle count should be over 70, preferably well over 70. The Portacount with N95 Companion attached will not allow you to do a fit test unless the ambient particle count is above 70 particles per cc. If necessary, supplement the ambient particle concentration using the particle generator provided with the N95 Companion kit. The second test is called the zero check. Passing this test tells you there are no leaks in the instrument. Locate the zero check filter and attach it to the clear sample tube while the Portacount is still in count mode. The particle count should drop quickly to 0. An occasional reading of 0.6 or 1.2 is acceptable as long as the display reads 0 most of the time. If the unit passed the previous 2 tests, then do a maximum fit factor check. Passing this test tells you the Portacount is capable of measuring high fit factors and that the internal switching valve is functioning properly. The maximum fit factor check is really just a quick fit test performed on the small zero check filter instead of a respirator. This simulates a fit test on a respirator with a nearly perfect fit. Perform the check by attaching the zero check filter to the sample tube if you've not done so already. Put the Portacount into the fit test mode and then start a fit test by pressing the test start-stop key. wait one exercise cycle, usually about a minute, and observe the displayed fit factor. You should see a value of 200 on the Portacount display with the words fit factor flashing or 200 plus on the computer screen. 200 is the highest fit factor that the Portacount can measure when the N95 Companion is used. Press the Test Start Stop key again to end the test. If the unit does not pass all three of the daily checks, refer to the manual or contact TSI if you have questions. Well, now that you know the Portacount and N95 Companion are working properly, it's time to set the testing protocol. Now, if you always use your Portacount with the Fit Plus software, you can disregard this step because when the computer software is used, the computer controls the pass-fail level. Setting the pass-fail from the keypad is only necessary when the Portacount is used without the computer. To view the current pass-fail level, press the Fit Factor Pass Level key for a moment and release it. The current level is displayed for a few seconds and then disappears. To change the pass-fail level, press and hold the Fit Factor Pass Level key. The available pass-fail settings scroll past. When the value you want to use is displayed, release the key. That value is retained until you change it again, even if the Portacount is turned off. The proper pass-fail level to use depends on the type of mask you're testing and on the regulation you wish to comply with. OSHA requires that half-mask respirators, including N95 disposable masks, use a pass-fail level of at least 100. When the N95 Companion is in use, the Portacount is limited to a maximum pass-fail level of 200. In addition to setting the Fit Factor pass level, it's necessary to tell the Portacount how many exercises each person is required to perform. Again, if you always use your Portacount with the software, this step is not necessary. To view the currently set number of exercises, press the Number of Exercises key for a moment and release it. The current number is displayed for a few seconds and then disappears. To change the number of exercises, press and hold the Number of Exercises key. The available values scroll past. When the value you want to use is displayed, release the key. That value is retained until you change it again, even if the Portacount is turned off. 8 exercises are required for compliance with the OSHA Respiratory Protection Standard 29 CFR 1910.134. Until OSHA finalizes the Occupational Exposure to Tuberculosis Standard, healthcare organizations may use the older 6 exercise protocol for fit testing employees who wear respirators for protection against TB. Prior to the actual fit test, each person is required to select a mask to be tested in. Let them choose from a variety of respirator models and/or different sizes in order to find one that feels comfortable. Positive and/or negative user seal checks, which should be covered in classroom training, are essential for selecting a good-fitting mask. Before beginning, there are a few things to verify with the person being tested, including proper identification and that training was provided on respirator usage. You need to be sure that the person has not smoked for at least 30 minutes prior to the fit test.
Are you a cigarette smoker?
And with men, you want to be sure they have a clean-shaven face. Facial hair in the face seal can cause leaks. Even though a person with a beard may pass a fit test, research shows they will not be as well protected in the workplace as they should be. U.S. regulations require employees who wear respirators to have clean-shaven faces in the face seal area. Since the Portacount must draw a sample from inside the respirator, a fitting or probe must be provided for attaching the mask sample to. The N95 Companion comes with a supply of disposable probes and a pair of installation tools that make installing a probe onto a filtering facepiece respirator fast and easy. Simply load a probe onto the pointed tool and a push nut onto the other tool. The push nut should have the concave side up. There is a magnet to prevent the push nut from falling off the tool. Next, pierce the respirator to be fit tested from the inside. Choose a location near the breathing zone centered in front of the person's mouth. Avoid seams, and if the respirator is equipped with an exhalation valve, locate the probe to one side or the other rather than above or below it. Since the addition of the probe makes the mask unusable for respiratory protection, and they can't usually be cleaned, disposable masks are discarded after each fit test. Have the person being fit tested put the sampling pendant on before donning the respirator. Then attach the clear sample tube to the respirator's newly installed sampling port. Now have the employee put on the respirator. Watch to see if the person does this properly, including the positive and/or negative pressure check. Resist the temptation to provide assistance. You're not going to be able to help when this employee wears the respirator in the workplace. If the person has any difficulty getting the mask on, extra training will be required. Accessory equipment normally worn in the workplace that could interfere with the fit of the respirator should be worn during the fit test, such as eyeglasses. If any of these items do cause interference, an adjustment or change is needed. Well, now you can start the actual fit test. You should think about the fit test as a kind of final exam. The employee has received the necessary training, and now you are going to do a fit test to determine if he or she really learned how to wear the respirator and if it's the right size. Fit test exercises are performed by the employee to stress the respirator face seal in a way that simulates typical workplace motions. The Portacount measures the fit while the person simultaneously moves and breathes in order to detect the intermittent leaks that are caused by typical workplace activities. Fit Plus software makes fit testing easy by walking you through each of the required exercises on the screen. OSHA requires 8 exercises for a quantitative fit test using the Portacount. The exercises are normal breathing, deep breathing, head side to side, head up and down, talking out loud, grimace, bending, and finally normal breathing again. When the N95 Companion is used, each exercise is about 80 seconds long, except for grimace, which can be 15 seconds long if you're using Fit Plus software. The entire 8 exercise fit test requires just over 11 minutes to perform. Don't allow the mask to be adjusted once the exercise is started. Start the fit test by pressing the Test Start Stop key. If using a computer, this step can be done from the computer. The person being tested should start the first exercise immediately.
Okay, are you ready to start? Let's go.
An audible beep is sounded at the start of each new exercise. The fit factors displayed for each exercise along with a pass or fail indication. The exercises must be completed one after the other without pause. Remember never to allow the employee to hyperventilate or become overworked. Exercises should always be done at a leisurely pace. Again, the 8 fit test exercises include normal breathing, deep breathing, turning the head from side to side, moving the head up and down, talking out loud, grimace, bending, and finally normal breathing again. The rainbow passage is often used for the talking exercise, however, it's not your only choice. It's acceptable practice to have the employee count out loud or recite other phrases. The purpose of the grimace exercise is to potentially break the face seal and then see if the mask reseats itself afterward. It's the fit factor for the exercise after the grimace that's important. In fact, the 8 exercise OSHA quantitative fit test protocol excludes the fit factor from the grimace exercise when the overall result of the fit test is calculated. 3 consecutive beeps from the Portacount signal that the fit test is complete. The testing stops automatically whether you're using the software or not. If the test passed, you now have documented proof the employee knew how to wear the respirator properly and that it was the right size. Frequent causes for failed fit tests include putting a mask on wrong, or the mask may be the wrong size or shape. In any case, attempt to assess the reasons why the test failed and administer the test again. One effective way to troubleshoot poor fit test results is to make a measurement while the employee holds the mask firmly against the face with both hands. This should always result in a very high fit factor, indicating that the problem is truly the result of face seal leakage and not a system malfunction. The real-time fit factor display feature of Fit Plus for Windows software is extremely useful for training respirator users and for troubleshooting poor fits. It allows the person to experiment with the respirator adjustments while watching the fit factor change on the computer screen. This is a very effective way to teach people how to properly bend the nose piece and adjust straps. When you finish fit testing for the day, remove the alcohol cartridge from the Portacount and store it in the alcohol fill capsule. Lock the storage cap onto the Portacount to prevent dust and moisture from getting inside. Put all accessories and manuals back in the carrying case for proper storage. Now you've completed the fit test process. Well, you've now seen a complete respirator fit test procedure from beginning to end. You've seen how the Portacount takes the guesswork out of respirator fit testing, and you've seen how the Portacount can determine if your employees know how to wear their respirators and if they have the right size. We hope this video has answered most of your questions and helps you use the Portacount to conduct the tests with ease and self-confidence. But if you need additional information, be sure to refer to the operation manual and the complete software manual, which you receive with every Portacount. And at any time, please don't hesitate to contact TSI or your local TSI representative if you need additional assistance. It's the commitment to excellence that makes TSI successful and helps you keep your employees safe. It's a good practice to slip the small zero check filter onto the sample tube whenever the Portacount's running but not fit testing. This keeps foreign matter out. Gently tug on the tube. If the connector pulls out, trim a little off the tube between the water trap and the N95 Companion to make it shorter than the connector side. This will help prevent inadvertent disconnects during a fit test. There's one optional check that can be done on the N95 Companion called the classifier check. Now, this check is used to diagnose certain problems and is not necessary to do on a daily basis. With the Portacount in count mode and nothing attached to the sample hoses, press and hold the small button on the back of the N95 Companion. The N95 Companion indicator light should change from green to red, and the particle count should drop quickly to 0. Release the button to return to normal operation. Successful completion of this test means that the high voltage electrostatic classifier inside the N95 Companion is functional. If you see the service message appear, it usually means that the Portacount needs alcohol. This is always the first thing to try. There are also other causes, including excess moisture in the wick or dirty internal lenses. If adding alcohol does not eliminate the service message, try changing the wick. Excess moisture inside the wick causes performance problems for the Portacount. To change the wick, remove the alcohol cartridge and pull it apart. Each Portacount comes with 2 spares. You can let the old wick dry thoroughly in a well-ventilated area and use it again. Slide the old wick and screen out and replace them with new ones. If changing the wick does not eliminate the service message, the internal lenses may be dirty. TSI recommends annual factory cleaning and recalibration in order to keep your Portacount and N95 Companion in top operating condition. Remember that the service message is not a fatal message. The Portacount may operate for weeks, even months, with the service indicator on. Another message you may see is the low particle message. This can only appear during a fit test. It means the ambient particle count appears to have fallen below 70 particles per cc when the N95 Companion is attached. The indicator light on the front of the N95 Companion should normally be green. If it's red, it means there's an internal flow restriction. Refer to the manual for instruction. It is normal for the sample tube to fog up during fit testing. But if you're doing a lot of fit testing, condensation can accumulate to the point where it actually drains down the tube into the Portacount. This should be avoided. If necessary, have some spare sample tubes on hand so you can switch to a dry one. The water trap used by the N95 Companion greatly reduces or eliminates this problem.